Hello and welcome to Bring On the Medicine, a holistic healer summit. My name is Janae Robinson. I am the owner of Janae's Essentials in Burley, Idaho. I am a life coach, a yoga therapist, and the host of this summit. I am here with Teresa Zemke. This is actually part two. And Teresa is a massage therapist, coach, survivor, healer, and straight up truth teller. She is also a mother and one who is thriving with DID. She has walked through fire more than once and came out the other side with a heart full of hope, hands that heal, and a mouth that speaks what others are too scared to say. She believes in laughing loud, loving deep, and holding space for every part of who she is, including the gritty, messy, and magical. So welcome back, Teresa. We're here for part two.
Thank you. Man, we got a lot we've uncovered a lot.
We have uncovered a lot, and this is just an area of discussion that there are just so many questions and there's so much that you have to offer. So I just appreciate your willingness to share so deeply, to be so open with the diagnosis of DID, how you function day to day. And so if this is the first video that you are watching as a guest of this summit, go back and watch part one. So
Janae, thank you so much for the opportunity to speak my truths and to be here with you.
You bet. You bet. Thank you. So, so as a life coach, and you know, just you, what did you call your tea time? Is that what you called it?
Tea time truth. Yeah.
Tea time truth. So we're here to hear a tea time truth about what advice would you give someone who's struggling with their mental health?
Ooh, this is another really great question. Janae, mental health is the foundation. The confidence isn't just a feeling, it's a walk, it's a talk, a movement. It's believing you can do all things. Always take a moment and remember love, confidence, and strength. Practice healing the vagus nerve and being confident in your ability to love. And most importantly, you are not broken. Healing is possible, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. Take small steps, reach out for support, because that is so important to own your voice and to ask for help when you need it, and to know that your struggles don't define you. You are stronger than you think.
Awesome. Thank you. I think that is such good advice. For a long time, having any sort of mental health issue or problem, even a problem in relationships, as it was very difficult to admit, it was very difficult to find help. It was very difficult. And it is a movement. I like that you said that. Mental health is a movement. And
it's a movement.
And honestly, it starts from infancy or pregnancy, even in the womb. It starts, and how we are handled, how we're cared for, how we are taught to ask for what it is that we need, to have self-agency, to be safe. There's so much to it.
And truly, Janae, like, mental health awareness it's not talked about enough. And truly, I've seen too many beautiful souls end their life because they couldn't talk about what they were suffering with. Their mental health was in such a disaster.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It is okay to ask for help.
Yeah.
That was one of the reasons that I wanted to do this summit, was that, first of all, I looked around and I thought, I know so many incredible people that are really stepping out on these journeys to change the world, to change themselves, to
Yeah.
to invest in others. And I wanted to make sure that there was access, that here's my list. And this is a short list. I still have a whole other list of others that I will eventually bring into something else. Um, and
I
so
just
I
want
want,
to say to you that this is so incredible. It truly is. Thank you for taking the time to building this, because girlfriend, we're going to make waves.
yeah, for sure. And as it should be, right? It's like I'm
Yes.
so tired of the same old, the norm, the things that the old patterns that we just continue
Mhm.
to act out. And it's like, no, let's up level. Let's challenge ourselves into something better. Let's let go of all the lies that we've been
And the
told.
bullshit.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And be able to call ourselves out of our own bullshit, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's
Yes.
what coaching is
Mhm.
okay, now I've got to go in and call myself out here, and um accept what I need to accept, build what needs to be built, and to really, I think the best term that I've heard about what I want to say is we have to face it. We have to
Amen.
face we have
Mhm.
to face it. We have to face what happened to us, our traumas, our who our parents were, how the decisions that we've lived in our lives, and to be able to do that alone. It takes a lot more time when you have a coach, when you have somebody that's already done it, and the pathway has been bulldozed, that we've taken the machete, we've cut all the hard grass and branches out of the way. And so we can more easily guide someone into a direction where they can be more successful. That
Yes.
isn't going to take years and years and years. It's like, here's the secret sauce. And I know you've got a lot of secret sauce.
Oh, it's all about the sauce. It is all about the sauce.
It really is. So, the next question I have is that there are not a lot of role models with DID. So, will you tell us how you are changing this as you step out into your work?
Absolutely. And you're right. There is not a lot of role models. I've been in this journey now as awareness that of my DID and diagnosed with it for 6 years. And I just barely found another person that has it. And so for me, I'm changing this by being visible, by sharing my story loud as fuck, and by showing others that DID doesn't mean you can't live a full and successful life. I write my own narrative, and I want to help others do the same. In a world that was created to be an I is now a we. And it's been very lonely road. And the reality is we all just want to be seen and heard. And I want to bring awareness and helping navigating relationships and everyday functions in life. It doesn't have to be lonely. And I want to live in a world that we are no longer speaking from brokenness, fear, rejection, and shame, like I've said, but through love and confidence that you can create a functioning, thriving system and be successful just as we all are in a world that was for an I.
Yeah, that is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. And so what are you most looking forward to this year, Teresa?
Oh, I get so excited about this because I have so many different things that I have been opening up to. I'm looking forward to expanding my work and to helping more people to find their voice, find their path to healing, and to every opportunity to make a difference excites me. And so I think that future alone, like I sometimes feel like this happy little seal that's like just happy clapping around because it's so bright and so beautiful because it's so truthful and it's so raw. And that's what I bring to the table. And that's what I'm excited about.
Awesome. Thank you. I love that. And I wanted to ask you too that well, I wanted to give you an opportunity to really is there anything else that you want listeners to know about you and your work?
Thank you for asking this. Janae, I wholeheartedly believe in holistic healing, addressing the mind, body, and spirit together. My work focuses on post-traumatic growth, PTG, and that is helping people move from simply surviving to truly thriving. My healing programs focus on holistic approaches to recovery for finding internal peace. Learn to listen, be welcoming, get curious, have patience, collect clues, and get creative with internal meetings, and believing I am strong enough or capable enough to make hard decisions. And I hold space for others for that.
Yeah, I can only imagine some of the decisions that you have been faced with. And we talked in the last in part one of the switching and how you said, well, could you tell that I was switching into these different parts of me? And no, most of us cannot tell. And that is part of your decision making process.
Mhm.
You know, as we go through triggers or we get into different positions where different decisions need to be made, you can transition into these other parts where that information is stored.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that that is good for us to know.
Janae, I want to share something with you that my parts, they don't always like the things that I do, right? Patricia hates my hair. She thinks it needs to be a pixie. Penelope wants it pink, and she wants to be in her pink tutu. Not everyone loves that I am a massage therapist, but they all understand that we have to function and we have to work. And so when there are parts of me that are fronting, that's why I had to create a system that we can, it's a bridge for all of us to communicate together, because I still have to function in day-to-day life. And that is not always easy, especially when there are parts that don't enjoy the traits of me. They want the traits of them.
Yeah, that is a beautiful thing to expand on as well. Can you tell us how you developed those bridges between Patricia and Frank and Teresa and I don't know all of their names?
Oh, I can tell you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So Charlie is my little.
Okay.
It started with Charlie. She's the youngest, but she's the oldest. And everyone protects Charlie. She's a 7-year-old that stays in her emotional trauma. But we've worked hard on healing Charlie. There's Patricia. She is no bullshit. She is all business. She's lawyer status smart, and she just wants to help every suffering addict and those that are struggling with their mental illness to get on the right path. And then there's Cynthia. Cynthia's the mother hen. She will cook you up a storm. Like I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning and have had a whole Thanksgiving dinner prepared in May. And then there's Frank. Frank is an asshole. He's an alcoholic. He has no filter, and he loves the word fuck. and and then there's Jasper. Jasper is a 16-year-old boy who is ruthless, and he will fight a man. Give me 1 second, Janae. Let me plug in my computer real quick. So the bridges became a way for us to communicate. And that was in writing. It's all been in writing.
Oh, okay.
And that's how we've all come together. I would have notes left for me. I would have names wrote on my body, names wrote on walls. I would have journal entries that they weren't mine, and they were signed with one of my parts. And so I understood that right off the bat, even with my DID therapist, she didn't create that for us. We created it together. Writing has always been something that has been a part of me, and I've been writing since I was little. And so it naturally had formed as a bridge of communication.
Right. So the parts, from what I understand and what I've heard from other people, is that sometimes you're aware that someone is listening in.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes other parts you're completely not aware of them. And what is it like for you? Because building this bridge, right? So
So
is it just through the journals, and or are they sometimes there together?
they're sometimes there together. It's like I sometimes didn't have memory of certain things happening in my life. Sometimes days and weeks went on that I had no memory of what I did. And so when I was ready to throw in the towel of like, oh my hell, I am a little psychopath and I need to check myself into a facility right now, then that's when I opened up and was like, oh, the voices and the things that I have been hearing, but didn't know what that was, like if it was memory, or because it plays in my head like a dialogue of it's not my voice.
Yeah.
But they're speaking from my memory or memories that have happened in my life. So I hope that answers your question a little bit.
Yeah,
And
it does. I know that it is probably difficult to articulate and also difficult to understand when we all think differently. Everybody does think differently. And I have heard that there are adults that they don't have a voice in their head, not even their own. And
yeah,
so,
I've heard that too.
yeah. So we are all different in that aspect. And I just feel that it's important to have information as far as what is out there, because we talked about the word crazy and
Yeah,
how easy it is for that to be labeled on someone. Nobody thinks twice. Oh, she's crazy. Oh, they're crazy. Oh, everybody's crazy. And it's kind of like, oh, but no, they're really crazy. So we just need to up level our language, up level our curiosity of how others are feeling, thinking, what we don't know what their lives are like. We don't know what their past
mm,
experiences are like. And to really allow assumptions to fall to the wayside.
amen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we did talk before about the responsibility of being a life coach. Sometimes we do need to refer somebody to a licensed clinical therapist. And
Mhm.
at the same time, being aware of the conditions that are present within others, that's important to recognize too. We talked about that. So, what are some of the signs that your previous coaches and therapists missed?
Well, first, I just want to touch on that last part a little bit is I fully recognize that coaching is not a replacement for therapy.
Yeah.
If I see someone that needs clinical support, I will always encourage them to work with a qualified therapist while still offering guidance in areas where coaching is appropriate. And simply helping create strategies and coaching in ways that they find the ability within themselves to overcome their hardship. So I
Yeah,
think that
they're
is
two different things, right? Coaching and
yes,
therapy,
yes.
two different
Mhm.
things. Yeah. So, yes, I like that differentiation. Thank you for that.
Yeah. And so some of the things that have previously been missed in my own diagnosis is they simply missed the dissociation, the memory gap, the loss of time, like I talked about. There were times where hours, you know, days, weeks that I had no idea what was happening. They missed that, and I was telling them. And they the way that my parts functioned separately. I was misdiagnosed with anxiety and depression for years because they didn't understand the signs of DID. And when I refused to be on their medication, because I kept telling them, no, no. And what that looked like for me in the beginning was I seen multiple therapists um, that would wanted me to be on an anxiety medication, an antidepressant. And I kept telling them, no, there's something more. There's something more. I've done hypnotherapy. I've done breath work. I've done EMDR, which is something that also caused an extreme trigger within me because they didn't know how to close my doors. And then I had a very erratic, crazed little that was no longer safe again. So I've done all sorts of different kinds of therapy um, that was also just diagnosed with anxiety and depression. So
Yeah, the dissociation, I think I'm happy that
that's the biggest.
yeah, and I think that's where the redefinition and the term dissociative identity disorder had come in, because the dissociation is the important part. It's not the multiple personality that, that term has gone away, because
Yeah,
that's not the problem. It's the dissociation that is the problem.
the
And I love,
dissociation.
yes, and I love life coaching because life coaching brings in awareness. It brings
Yes.
awareness of patterns. It brings awareness of our thoughts. It brings awareness into what it is that we're journaling and what it is that we're looking for. And if we don't have awareness, we don't have anything. We don't have anything.
Exactly.
Awareness is
Yeah.
living in this world. We live on autopilot. So many of us live on
Uh-huh.
autopilot, or we just don't think about it. Have you heard that? Where, oh, I just don't think about it. That's
Yeah.
something that I'm just like, how do you not think about it? But
Yes.
it's that easy way to just dissociate, to just ignore, to just live on autopilot. And
Mhm.
so yeah, that's great. Were there any other indications that showed up that you want to talk about with that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Memory loss, identity shifts, emotional dysregulations, a lack of continuity in my own thoughts and behavior. These were all signs of DID, but because professionals aren't trained to recognize it, they were overlooked.
Yeah, I think that it is way more common than we think.
It is. It
I
is.
I know that because of the dissociation, and also because of the stigma, there are many people that are in shame, and I know that shame is part of the DID
Yeah.
diagnosis, and that sort of things because of the types of trauma that happen, that sometimes they don't know, sometimes they don't want other people to know, and sometimes they're still on that healing journey to where it just isn't out yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What was most helpful on your journey? Like, what really helped you? Because you are the last 6 years you've been on this journey and you've done all of this work, and now you're stepping into life coaching, you're accepting yourself. So like what did they do right? What was and what did you do right?
It's not what they did.
Yes,
And
yes, yes.
I don't want this to come out as a, a religious or what have you. Um, Truthfully, it's Jesus. Rebuilding my relationship with Christ, knowing that I can heal through all things through Him, and that's because I didn't have anybody else, right? But I had that, and that's what I had to go off of. Self-compassion, building a strong support system and learning how to navigate my system instead of fighting against it. Because I fought so hard against it that no, these things were really not happening. Or I didn't wake up one morning and have a whole table, $50 worth of food that I don't eat. And Bush Light, who in the hell drinks Bush Light? Not me, but Frank does. um, and and once I had embraced every part of myself, true healing began. I learned that healing each part helps heal the system, and finding common grounds with all parts, compromising goals, identifying conflicts, and learning what's most important for each of us.
And I love that you chose the word embrace, because to me, embrace has such a softening around it. It's not that you just accepted, right? It's not
No.
you just were told you had this diagnosis and, it's like, well, that's what the doctors say. It is literally this embracing of yourself, which is that acceptance and the beauty of being you, of
Yeah.
this is me, this is us, right?
This is us.
This is
Exactly. And I choose to do this unmedicated. I opted out of not taking the antipsychotic because here's the thing is I researched it all. I was going to take their medication, but I wanted to know what I was putting into my body. And what they didn't they didn't care to elaborate on is part of uh what is that word I'm looking for?
like contraindications or
I would be dissociating on the medication,
yes,
just staring at a wall for hours on end.
right.
That's a dissociation. And
Yes.
I decided that these parts have always been a part of me. They came to front when something even more traumatic, like my system had just had enough. We were all on overload. So it was no longer anything that can be hidden. So I wanted to learn about it, and I wanted to do it in the most natural, most beautiful ways of accepting, me and everything, embracing what they have done for me. They've kept
Yes.
me alive. And
Yes,
that is
it is.
incredible.
It is incredible. It really is incredible what the body and the mind will do to survive, the will to survive, to where literally you've created these different parts to be who you needed to be to get out of the situation that you were in.
Yeah.
And it's just an overcoming like no other. It is literally an overcoming like no other.
And also, I mean, I did read the side effects, and I'm sorry, but anal leakage is not a thing for me. No,
No,
ma'am.
thank you. No, thank you. No, thank
Nope.
you.
I will deal with all of us.
Goat, and it was like, no, thank you. No, no
Yeah.
one wanted to come to the front for that.
Yep. So, I mean, you've known me for quite some years now, and you've followed bits and pieces of my journey and my story, and you've seen some of the most random things
Yeah.
that could happen. They've happened to me. And
Yes.
if a side effect is anal leakage, then well, then that's where it would happen to me. And that is just too costly for me to
Right,
risk.
right. You're like, okay, the odds are already against me.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of have a feeling that the odds just might be against me in this as well. So, and I do believe that medication, it's a personal choice. Everybody
Right.
is there
It
at a
is.
different place, and I think that they are finding that with DID, the medication is tricky. It's tricky because
Yes.
there is that dissociation, there is the depression, there is the anxiety, there's immense joy, there's all different ages of parts.
Mhm.
And so it's really something that someone has to sit with, and really with any condition that we have, we really
Yeah.
it should be a very mindful choice for the individual. And so
I agree with that 100%. I think healing looks different for everybody. And I
yeah,
think whatever approach they choose to take for them, that is also their right and their journey. For me, I was stepping in and I was gonna just go full throttle all together, wholesome, naturally, right? Because all of those things that could happen with the medication, I was already dealing with
right,
without it.
right.
And I don't know about you, but I would never give a 7-year-old a medication that I didn't know how she was gonna act to. And so I had to think about my part, you know?
Right, right. Absolutely. And part of the DID is the integration of parts. And
Yes.
so it is that acceptance of, yes, these things did happen to me, because there can be some denial. And it's like, that wasn't me, that didn't
Mm.
happen. And so when those memories start flooding in, the night terrors, I don't know if you had night terror.
Oh, bad. I don't anymore. The
Yeah.
night terrors were, I mean, that's something that I went through my whole life with, and I didn't know that was a part of my system. I just thought it was because part of the trauma memories that would take place, but no, it has been a part of my system, the night terrors, and I don't have those anymore. And that's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, because again, it's the dissociation, and it's the part of facing it, it's the part of accepting it, it's the integration, and it's a long term journey. It
Yes.
doesn't it's like any sort of healing is just a journey. It never ends. We just continue to show up the best that we can. And I know that in your one of your last Facebook posts, you had said, like, I'm life coaching myself, right?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
believe that too, that sometimes we're life coaching other people, sometimes we're life coaching ourselves. And you're like, I had this DUI. I'm
Mhm.
literally in the thick of it. I'm turning my tools inward, and I'm working on myself to get through what I need to get through so that life can settle down again.
Yeah.
And and the
And that's
unique part,
important to me.
yes, and the unique part of it is that it's not just, there's like you said, these six other parts that are dealing with whatever situation arises, because it affects them as well, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So
You
is
know
there,
what is so great,
yeah,
Janae,
tell me, please.
is we're fucking hilarious. We live like this world that we live in that we've created. I don't know why I don't get paid to be a comedian.
It's on the table. It's literally on the table. I mean, and right now, if you have something that you want to like blurt out, go ahead. The floor is I don't know if you want to show us how funny you are.
We're all hilarious up here. And I think that, learning to just move in the beat of our own drum and be completely unapologetic in this, that is the beautifulness in it.
It is. And laughter is really the best medicine. I know
It
that's
is.
old cliche, but it really is. And I'm a Reiki master and I do a podcast and I have a co-host and she talks about laughter all the time. It's like laughter is like prayer. It really is. It will clear negativity. And so I feel that that sunshine piece of you, like you are sunshine, you are
Thank you.
hilarious. And that's just part of that healing journey of bringing joy into the journey and joy into life that hey, yeah, these things happen, but I'm not going to let it ruin the rest of my life. Right?
Yeah,
Like, no
exactly.
way.
No way. No way. There are so many other things that they just don't know it yet, but we're coming. We're coming. And we're gonna light up their whole damn world.
There you go. I love it. Well, I want to again thank you for this part two session. I really wanted to spend as much time with you as I could. And I really appreciate your candidness, your openness, just how loving that you are and how much that you truly care about other people. And I just wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Janae. I feel really honored to be here. And I know what is ahead is, oh man, like I keep saying, we're gonna make waves, and I'm here for that. And I'm just ready for the world to know something that they have no clue about, actually. But it's
Absolutely.
really beautiful.
It is beautiful.
And the
And
more the merrier.
for sure. For sure. Bring everybody along.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to say thank you to our viewers for watching this summit. If you need any more information on Teresa, you can follow her on Facebook. She is very open about her journey, and she has a lot of good things in store that she will be launching soon. And her Facebook is her name, Teresa Zemke. So, all right, I'm just gonna sign out and say thank you.
Thank you.